Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of You Can't Say That with me, Erin.
And me, Ray London. How you all doing? Can you scrap that?
No, but I feel like the echoes
Does you justice.
it does you justice.
Okay,
because,
thank you.
you know, superstars deserve their thing. I just get called Erin because I'm just the cockney. That's it. Nothing special.
Hey! What's happening, Erin? So much has been going on, hasn't it, since we last met up?
I'm not going to lie. When we last spoke about people's phones getting hacked, it wasn't as deep as it's got.
I know.
In a week, a lot has just rumbled in the jungle.
Definitely. It's been crazy. Like, literally, we've been speaking all week. Voice notes, messages, calls. Ray, Erin. Do you know, it's
Everyone,
been literally manic.
The group chat was mad. Like, the group chat itself, every time we spoke, and every time we said, that seems a bit weird, but anything can be fair, then more and more information and more, and it's like people saying, it could be fake, it could be made up. I went, then he's got to come out, because if someone was trying to call me a paedophile when I was in public eye, even in normal life, if people were calling me saying that I'm not, and it's that dark, like, people respect murderers more than what they do a paedophile.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? A murderer can get another chance before he murders again. A paedophile, one. So if I'm not saying he is, to me it looks like
Who are we talking about?
Dutchavelli.
Yeah,
Come on,
okay,
we all
there
know
you go.
Dutch, yeah. So with Dutch, I feel that statements are being changed too easy, and it's not him at the forefront. It's the young girl's mum saying, I was talking to him 1 minute, now she's saying the flirtatious messages ain't what people are misperceiving it. I'm like, you can't misperceive flirtation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is.
So at this point, he needs to just come out and say, look, she's like a daughter to me, but then again, you wouldn't ask your daughter to come round to your yard. Like, there's me personally, I've got nieces, I've got friends that have younger sisters. Not in my lifetime would I be chatting to them on a personal through their Insta. Like, that's like one of my two best mates have got a younger sister. I see her on Instagram, but I don't comment on her stuff, I don't inbox her.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to do that. If I see them, I go, oh, how you doing, sweet? Watching you, behave, like, you know what I'm saying? Because, but she's like 18 now. But it's one of them things where I can't see anyone doing that and not coming out and saying this, that or the other, or trying to bring receipts. Someone else is coming out, another girl come out, said he was in her inbox. Like, at what point is he gonna stop chilling in Dubai with his money and just come back and say
just
what
address
happened?
it? Yeah,
He needs to address it.
Address the situation.
If you don't address something, everything will be manipulated, apparently, and then you've got his sister saying Conan, and now she's apologised because she jumped the gun because she felt her family being attacked. Everyone can stick up for their family, but if he's done madness, he's done madness.
Yeah.
You can't stick up for family members when they do that shit.
Yeah, I agree. And I think too much it gets brushed under the carpet. And to be honest, okay, it's happening. We know it's happening. You need to speak out about it. Like you said, okay, he's been caught red-handed. Okay, the messages are there. The exchange of text, whatever. You then don't just go and, like you said, hide or go on holiday and act like nothing's actually going on.
Bad,
but then maybe he's sitting away thinking, okay, how am I going to address it? Because, you know, sometimes something can happen and you can actually just, you can be quick to respond and your response might not be correct. So maybe he's thinking about it before he actually comes out and says something.
But he can easily react to see Biz calling him a paedophile and say, these dusty rappers.
Yeah, true.
But he can't address the nation.
True.
And he's like, literally, not even the nation, just his fans and this country that are like, well, whoa. Like, now your posters are getting violated with nonce and all that. So at what point do you fix up and say, look, I need my label, I need someone to come out. If this is wrong, you'd fight everyone.
Yeah, and it's a serious subject. It's a serious subject. So it's not like it's not just something that you can just be like dust off
or
say 2 words. It's not a
you
big deal.
robbing
It's
someone.
a big deal.
You punching someone on the plane like Tion.
Mm.
like Tion Wayne's had a load of stuff like that. Yeah.
Mm.
When you're making certain music and you might have been about a certain type of life, certain things will happen. Like getting when you got arrested, obviously that assault charge and that stuff happens.
Yeah.
That is something that you can sort of brush under the carpet and be like, I don't want to be judged over that.
Yeah, sure.
I'm better now. But stuff like this,
it's a lot more serious.
you need to come out and fight for your name, right?
Yeah.
You can't be having Steph saying, Banks shouldn't say this. Oh, no, sorry, it weren't Steph, it was his other sister, because they look mad alike. And she'd come out and said about Bonkers. Bonkers touched a 13-year-old's boob and he got done for it. He got done. He got put to the stand. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that happened with Merckson, back day, there was a grime MC who was part of the movement, and he got caught in an altercation with Scholar, the DJ, where a young girl, obviously she's lied at her age. What's even worse, and it says that something happened, obviously you're not there, so you can only go off what's happened in the court and what's been judged. He's been judged, he's done his full story, and now he's back to making music and no one judges it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he came out and said his side, she had her side, and the court decided.
Right.
At the minute, this looks like it's not going to court because it's kept within the family. Yeah. It's kept within she said, I don't want the stress on my kids. I'm like, this 14-year-old girl, or 15 now, I'm not too sure, but she is too young. You're right to have people inboxing and saying, come out, get him, you know what I'm saying? And I think the mum's coming off wishy-washy for me. Like, Dutch can't come out and say, I was talking to the mum, but then the mum's saying a lot of the messages weren't flirtation and taken out of context. So, who's telling the truth? If it's not a full statement, unless she's saying it just for her daughter's sake, maybe they're just getting too much onto a young mind. So people are attacking the mum. What happens if the mum didn't know until now, and she's like, I'm in the middle in trying to keep her family together.
I understand that.
It's a weird one.
It is a weird
because social
one.
media will just... no one wants their family on these platforms. So a 14-year-old having shit leaked, and then everyone seeing her name, apparently there's ways that they could see where she lived and all that. Yeah. I don't know, that's what Banks are addressed anyway.
And I guess it's hard to deal with as well. So then you now want to come out and be on the attack, and then you don't, and then obviously you're friends with the family, and there's a lot to consider, and especially when it's aired out in public, it's hard to deal with because it is a very sensitive subject. So I kind of get that bit, and it's unfortunate when these things come to light and it is in the spotlight, because it's hard enough dealing with it when it's not in the spotlight. So imagine now it's a whole different scenario. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about their opinion. Okay, this happened, or this isn't right, and that isn't right. And then you don't really know which angle to come at. So it is a hard situation.
And there's loads of people that will see both sides.
And there's loads of people that will see both sides. I mean, I've had a look at some of the comments in some of the stories, and it's like some people are going in, and then others are a little bit more empathetic, sympathetic.
But then they're getting attacked for having a different opinion.
Yes.
Because they're saying, remember, social media will throw anyone under the bus. The only thing I will say is, I wouldn't say they're trying to bring him down. I don't like that term, because, let's be honest, it ain't always jealousy. Everyone was rating Dutch until the act, and stuff came out, and they're not saying it's fake. They're saying something's been manipulated, some have been deleted. We don't know that.
But he needs to come
and
speak
prove
out.
Yeah, so he can't prove that. So what I'm saying is, it's now to a point where it's all opinion based. But there is proof when there's messages. There's messages there from years back. You know what I'm saying? So, and because it's someone's niece who is obviously passed now, her cousin came out and said he come out and he knows Dutch. Apparently they're like that. They was like that. Obviously now, I don't think he's ever going to talk to him or see him in the same light, because he's seen the messages and he's gone, no, that's out of pocket. So if someone that's close to you is just switched off from you, that tells me that there's more to this than what all I know is whatever happens in the next few weeks, his career's now in the same place as a lot of artists that get put in that spotlight. R. Kelly, took years because everyone took it under the carpet. No one does that anymore.
Look, to be fair, his career is not going to be the same as it would have been. No. Even if he still gets far, even if he still has his fans that support him, even if he still makes records and people buy, the stigma that he has, the label that he has attached to him is never going to be the same. Do you understand?
The only person that ever had a label stuck to him was Michael Jackson, but look how big he was.
And he's not going to be like that.
And again, there was never no evidence. And that no matter, even if the FBI were involved, like, let's be honest, if the FBI got involved with Dutch, they won't, because he's not like that. You know what I'm saying? He's just a UK really good artist. But if it got to that point where he was investigated, they'd probably, if there was something to be found, it'd be found.
Yeah,
so if I was him, I'd want the police to be involved. If not done anything.
Yeah, if you haven't done anything and you're
just get the police involved,
like you said.
Just put it straight in. Just say, I know he don't like the police, because obviously all the drama about him getting nicked and all that. So he probably don't trust them. But at this point, he needs help to clear his name, because I don't believe. Yeah, he needs to go to police to clear his name, even though he don't like them. Or he needs to
just come out and address the situation.
And we just need labels to stop covering up for him. I think the industry, all industries, stop covering up when stuff's wrong.
It always happens.
Tom Cruise, R. Kelly.
It always happens. It always
Johnny
happens.
Depp, his wife.
And I think it's always going to be that way, to be fair. But you know what? It's morally, and we just as people, we need to learn to stop brushing things under the carpet and actually just, whatever's in the dark, bring it to light. Because it's not only you, the person that's covering it. It's not only about you, it's about the victims, it's about the people who are suffering and have to suffer in silence. And then what they then do is feel like, if anything's going to happen, there's no point speaking out about it because no one's going to listen. And then they have to deal with that. And mentally, that's very, very traumatic. It makes you very unstable as a person.
And I don't think she believes he's done anything wrong. And what people don't realise is that is what grooming is. You know
and then how do they grow up? They grow up believing that certain things that happen to them, is acceptable. Exactly.
Because I've actually been with someone that, when they was younger, they was with someone older than them. I think they was like 23, 24.
Okay.
And they was like 16, 17. To me, he's already took the piss. Like, he can actually just pick you up from school. Do you know how creepy that is? If you're 16, school, college. Like, for me, as a grown man, how is that ever comfortable? I know there's loads of women out there that have had the same thing, where they've been in a school uniform, they've been spoken to a certain way by grown men, or looked up and down. And for me, I think we need to fix, I think we need to be in charge of this. It's not. It should be that a woman feels uncomfortable to wear certain things. They can't be called names, because we can wear what we want. We don't get sexualised. Stop sexualising children. In porn. School uniforms. You know what I'm saying? At what point can a young woman, because you've got daughters, right?
Yeah.
They should be able to go out and feel comfortable, but a bit like what happened with Sideman outside that station.
Do you know what what happened with that? I sent that both to my girls, and they were just like, "Wow, like, Mum." Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, even sometimes when my daughters dress, it's like I will look at them, and even though for them they're just dressing in what they're comfortable and what looks nice, I'm like, "Oh, can you wear something else? Or can you?" Naturally you've got boobs, you got bum, whatever. But I fear, and I'll be like, "Oh, put on a coat or put on a jumper, or cover yourself." Like, but you know what? But they're just young and want to wear their stuff, and they should be allowed to wear their stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I'm aware of what is going out. I'm scared of what is going on outside and what they're looking at. what they're looking at and what they're seeing and imagining is a whole different thing.
Look, don't get me wrong. If you've got kids and they're going out at 13 with flipping short shorts on and their bum cheeks hanging out, tell them about themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
That's helping them to understand.
It's not acceptable.
How to dress. You know what I'm saying?
But then when they see their mums going out like that,
well, that's a whole different story about kids having kids, isn't it? Really.
And
but then again, no, because there's young mums that are brilliant mums.
Yeah.
So that's wrong with me. Actually,
and then you've got older women who are out there doing
it, and then they go out and do it, and then the kids watch how they dress. But you know what it is? I think morally, you need to realise that everyone has a different upbringing. Some things are seen as not right. If you show a bit of knee, that's wrong. If you show a bum cheek, that's all right. Yeah. But loads of parents have different ways of bringing up their kids. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with teenage girls dressing how they want, but I think parents need to be more involved in protecting their children, because even though they shouldn't have to, women shouldn't have to be protected. But unfortunately, there's men out there that are doing really bad things. They're taking advantage of every opportunity, like every space. And when you've got things like the grooming situations that are happening, it's happening everywhere.
Because I feel
Football,
like with men,
there's sexual assault now.
So there is. I feel like with men are, they see a bit of skirt, they see a bit of, they see boobs and breasts, and then they don't pay attention. But they have to start paying attention, because at the end of the day, there are blatantly young women out there that look older and intentionally make themselves look older, and intentionally go out there for the older guy, and intentionally want to have the man spend and whatever. And the men, some of these men, they know that. So they know that, they use it to their advantage. So it's the girls on one hand, I feel like, I don't know, you guys need to maybe have a little bit more respect for yourselves, and also the parents, look at, like I said, what your children are doing, and encourage them to just do better. Don't be reliant on a guy, like feeling like what you want, you want a phone or you want this or whatever, you go to the guy
because he's older,
and that's probably what you're seeing from your older friends or your parents, your mum. Sometimes it does happen. Social media. Everywhere. I want that bag. I want this. So you will go. You'll sleep with a guy or whatever just for that. But the men. And it's the thrill as well. Like when I was a teenager, I'm not gonna lie. Like 17, I like a 26-year-old that I was snogging. I was snogging up and was getting close to do things, and then when my mum found out, mate, she went mental. She's a fucking pedo. Like, you don't think of it. And you don't think of it that I'm on the reverse. As a man, because men do like older women. As a teenager, I'm like, raw, this older girl's into me, sick. And that's what a young girl will feel. Yeah. It's like that, you believe you're older, innit? So, you want to be seen as an adult. From 15, even younger now, from 14, 15, you want to be seen as an adult. Yeah. You try doing it in your household, you try being a bit more boisterous, a bit outlandish, until your parents beat you back down to earth. Yeah. But when you go outside, that's your time to shine and be who you believe you are. Yeah. But you can look the part, but mentally you're still not there. You've not seen the world. Yeah. You don't know what manipulation is yet. Definitely, I agree. As a teenager, you're just pure. You're a pure soul, and everything around you will cater. Well, it depends as well on what you've been through as a child, because you will find that some children that age have had to grow up quickly, so they could be mentally a lot more mature than others. But we're talking about in general. Yeah, in general. There's obviously some places where your mum or dad might not be around a lot, so you're looking after your brothers and sisters. Yeah, that does happen. I mean, but we're talking about generally. In general, a lot of family setups are pretty cool. So exactly. And I feel, like that daddy's little girl thing, where dads just go, I'm working, I'll see you later. And then sooner or later, dads need to step in when they feel like it's going a bit too far. But some dads are scared because they don't know how to approach their daughters. Yeah, and especially, and sometimes mums
I feel like a lot, not every mum, but a lot of mums don't want to see it, if that makes sense. They don't want to see that their daughter's going out dressed up. By the time they get to school, they're in a different girl. Like, let's be honest, every girl I remember back in school, hard. They used to ride up, they used
roll up their
they go there, then the skirt goes up your leg, and then like the year 11s are chatting up the 7s, and then the 7s and 8s are all gassed.
In high school, we used to have the college next door, and us the girls, we used to go and hang outside the college to meet the older guys. Yeah. But then we're in different times now, I think. So
I also believe you're closer to age. But don't get me wrong, there's going to be the 21-year-olds that are driving schoolgirls around. What I find really creepy. I do. Anyone 21, it's creepy for me when it's near 17, 16-year-olds. That's my honest...
What if it's like 17 and 21?
To me, there's a teen in there. It's just weird.
17, 18.
It's weird. So, like 18, okay, cool. 18 to 21, I'd, if I was 21... I could date an 18-year-old. I wouldn't have an issue with that. 18, still got the teen in it. Still worries me a little bit. 19 worries me. 20, safe.
Yeah.
But now that I'm coming up to 31, like, my ex-fiance, she was about 6 years difference to me. When we first got chatting, I found out her age and it put me off it. Like, I was very close to just going... That's how it, because morally I felt weird, but then I realised, me at 26, 27 at the time, I think I was 27, and she was 21. So you see how it's like that thing of, it's also how they are as a person.
Yeah.
She was already working, she was already paying rent for her own place. She was already a grown-up, you know? So when you said it depends on, as you're growing up, what happens around you, it's different things that create. Places. So, but anything for me, under 20 is weird. If you're like 25, 26, under 20, for me, I'd want their parents to come and tell me off and ask some questions. Like, how comes you're older? How comes like there's bare women in the world that are your age?
Why are you going for...
Yeah. And as long as the intentions are pure and it's not to do with manipulation, I think a lot of that is happening.
And I think what you said there is brilliant, the fact that you would want the parents to come and question, because a lot of things happen where, you know, older guys are dating younger girls and there's no freaking parents involved. Like, where are the parents?
Like, you can't all be working, bro.
I know, if my 21-year-old or my 18-year-old came to me and they were dating somebody 5-6 years ago, I would already be giving you daggers. But best believe I want to see your freaking face. Like, the dad wants to see your face. Like, who the hell are you? Why are you? Do you understand? Where are the parents? One thing I'm going to say though, I find your daughters, if like an older person approached them, I feel like they'd be like, I just get the vibe from them that they are on job. Like, they're on, I'm going to do my business, I'm going to get my money, I'm going to live. I've got this to do, I've got this to do. The last thing on their mind is a man looking after them, because you've made them independent. Like, and I think people have got to put that into their children. Exactly. You can be independent. This ain't the 1960s, a woman in the kitchen and the man goes out working totally and then just fucking bear different women. Because let's be honest, that's the old school way of doing it. You're right. You're right. If I look at them and they buy their own clothes, they buy their own shoes, they buy, they pay their own phone bill. It's not in their DNA to even ask a man, like, do you know what I mean? Like the dad, yes, but not.
Not like if they was going out with someone, if they offered it, they'd be like, oh, thanks, because obviously that's nice. But they wouldn't expect
they
that
do
person
for themselves, and that's the way that I've taught them. So I just feel like, and then there's less pressure, because if you think that you're growing up if you're growing up in a household where, let's say for instance, the mum is that woman that is out there trying to finesse these guys and get the money up and whatever, and your child is actively seeing that.
She just sees that you're just seeing that
with the money. Yeah. So then the young girl now is going to be growing up thinking that is the way to do things. So then immediately the pressure is on. She's got to make sure her makeup's done. She's got to make sure her weave's intact or her hair's done.
Always
She's got to make
perfect,
sure that her, you know, she looks presentable for the guy, because the pressure is on for her to bag that man to get that stuff. Whereas if you're somebody who has a different mindset, where your parents have brought you up to get for yourself and whatever, you're not having pressure about how you look and how, because you're out there getting your money, you're out there doing what you need to be doing. So man is the last thing on your mind.
When they do come,
and
they
when
just
they do
add,
come, it's like,
they add to
really,
it.
like, what can
If
you
you can
actually
add.
bring? Yeah.
And that's what, see,
Exactly.
a lot of men now, I think they're still stuck in that mindset, even when they ain't got the money, they still think that a woman's going to rely on them. And I ain't going to lie, a few years back I had that. I had that in my head, that you should be relying on me. Then I realised, no, because you can't have an healthy relationship when someone's in charge of the other. I think you need to both be
in charge of the what?
in charge of in charge of someone else. So have you noticed that the dynamics of the family would be what the dad said goes, and then the mum sort of okay. Where I think an healthy relationship is where you're both like this, but a man steps up to what he has to be.
Yeah, and I think
Not in charge of it. No, you ain't doing that. No, I say what I say.
Yeah.
All that stuff to me is very toxic.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a balance. I think a man should be the man, and I think the man should always have that kind of upper edge to be that provider. A man should be a provider. However, the woman has to be able to contribute and bring to the table. Not even for the sake of, you know, just for your own peace of mind, for your own dignity, for your own self, you know, belief that you can actually do.
If it gets wrong and the person you're with is actually draining you, you can leave move.
Because you're confident that you can survive on your own. You know what I mean? So I think we have to be able to, as people, men and women, come together. Both of you bring to the damn table. Do you understand? The man, if he's a real man, the man's going to be the man. The man is going to show in that household that, you know what, I've got you covered.
Yeah.
But
so
the
when
woman,
it goes, it's like you said. But I feel like a lot of men don't admit it, but when it comes to the home, when you're living with a woman, that's what I You live in it. You know what I'm saying? You cater to that household because you know what you bring to the table. You don't bring the front room looking good to the table. You might have painted it because she made you, but you don't. You're bringing.
The woman makes it the home.
There's nothing wrong with that dynamic.
Yeah.
But it's like you said. A man can be a man, but you can go past that old school state of being toxic.
Definitely.
Where you walk
I'm
in
the man. I tell you what to do.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, you listen to
why isn't this done? Or why isn't that done?
No.
Or do you know what? I'm providing this, so you make sure this. Like, no.
I could never be with a woman that done that.
Yeah.
I like the sweet one make me have that. She won't let that grow. If I said to her, make me a tea, she'd go, you know the kettle, you just dickhead. And I'm like, oh, all right, calm down.
I think it's nice to make your man like. Do you know what? Do you know what it is?
But me forcing it. So if I go, make me a tea, man.
Yeah.
She goes, the stare, and I'm like, oh, if I put the kettle on, can you make me a tea? Fine.
Yeah.
All right, sweet, thank you.
And I think there's a nice way, like, you know, as a woman, okay, you've got to know when to be submissive. You've got to be submissive in the right context. So you come in, you'll be sitting there, whatever, and you come, babe, do you want a cup of tea? Like, be sweet.
Yeah,
do you understand? But it's not like you said. It's not going to be the guy like demanding. Like,
where's the tea?
Yeah.
What's for dinner, bro? Why ain't it cooked? You're shit, man. Like, no, but there's bare people that actually think that runs in 2000.
Or imagine they're in the house, and like you said, it could all be very relaxed, and then the man comes in and it's like boom, the tension is just mad.
Changes just like that.
And it's like, oh, you've got to now start running around like, no, we're not in those caveman days now, boy.
No, but there's some women that are stuck in that.
Yeah.
And the kids grow up, and like you said, it's learned behaviour. Parents, inadvertently, you teach your kids a family setup.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you've got both parents, that's a different setup to a single parent household. But I find a lot of single parent households, there's this thing where, you're more likely to be in gangs if you're in a single. Right, I know loads of people with both parents and they're banging hard, right?
But
so it's like I said, it's the people. You can't blame dynamics.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can have two parents in two different households, and that child can still have the perfect.
But when it was together,
so
they'd see more negativity.
Exactly.
So I feel like all these statistics that they make up, I don't think it's healthy. Because
I agree.
I don't think. Yeah, I think you can be in love with someone and still bring each other down. Yeah. Because you're both not in the same place. I agree.
And people stay together sometimes because they feel like they feel like it's too challenging to start something new, that maybe they've already to start again. But you know what? Sometimes let things go. If it's not working out, or it's toxic, or you're not happy, and it's got to the end, it's run its course. Like, don't force it. When people turn around to me and say they're staying together because of the kids, I'm sorry, that is one of the worst things that you could do. It's one of the worst things you could do.
You didn't want to go and you didn't know how to leave.
Yeah.
Stop. Because then what happens is you start actually thinking it is the kids. So as you get older, you start getting a bit funny with kids, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's like a little bit of
fluff.
Yeah, fluff, that's it. It's good.
Bloody fluff. And then I find that you end up taking it out on the kids.
Yeah.
Because you're together, you're angry all day. So when they come in from school and they make a bit of noise, oh, just shut up, go to your room. And you don't realise that's impacting them.
Yeah, and you know what as well? And then that's when you'll now find that men or the women will go out and they'll have extramarital relationships. So you're not happy in the home, you're trying to make it work for the sake of the children, you're frustrated at each other, the children are frustrated, you're going out, you're having other relationships outside.
Kids see all that.
It's all being seen by the kids.
You think you don't realise, but kids have friends, on ends. If something out of place happens, especially in areas like, in council estates, in them sort of communities, everyone knows everyone. So if tomorrow my dad kissed someone else, in Newham, I'll know. Someone will message me, your dad was necking some next girl and it weren't your mum. I'll be like, right, I'm 30. I'll probably have a 17-year-old tell me this. I'll be like, who are you? I'm Thingy's cousin. I saw it, trust me, it's mad. And I'm like, safe. Dad, stop kissing random girls on road. But that literally happens. People, sometimes your kid might even catch you. Catch you out, like the phone's on the side. Yeah. Karen, I'm just going to call her Karen. Karen said, last night was amazing. You being a dickhead of a man, not having your phone down, or not having the notifications off.
And they might not say anything to them, but they've seen it.
Your sons, see sons and daughters, you will see stuff, and you just sit there with it. That's the information then. So then whenever your dad starts moving mad with you, you're like, I'll just tell mum. Yeah. I would have done that.
My girls, boy, if they see anything, they will
they'll be
you know them already.
Bang. They'll be like, right, where's that 10k? I need 10k in cash. I want it now.
They'll be like, Mum. Because I swear, like,
they'll leave you a note. They'll leave you a note and say, here's a blank check.
They treat me like, you say like, yeah, Mum.
No, but see, that's, for me, I think that's how it should be. Yeah. You should be able to have any conversation with your kids, no matter how difficult it is. I feel like a lot of parents just want to put this, I'm in charge, what I say goes. But what they don't realise, in the real world, they go out and do their own. Yeah, exactly. And
so I think it's a boundary like this. You've got to know that, they've got to know that you're the parent all the time, but you still have to be approachable. You still have to have the ability to be able to speak and let them speak, and let them have an opinion, because it's important, because otherwise they'll just shut down and shut away from you and go and talk to the people who you don't want, the older guy or the older
without you knowing. You know the ones where you say, oh, you can't have a phone, but they've got a phone.
Oh my God.
Because one way or another, they'll get their own money. Yeah. Like kids, if kids will save up their pocket money until you, oh yeah, I had lunch and they didn't, I had their dinner, and you scoff it down and think, oh, they're being good this week. And all of a sudden, there's a ding, ding, ding all night long, and they're talking to an older man, or they're talking to someone in college, or someone that they've lied to saying they're 18. I've had that. Yeah. There was another time when I was doing youth work, and the youth worker I met, we got chatting. I was 18. She said she was 17. 15.
Wow.
And someone came up to me, one of the young lot in the youth club came up to me and went, nah, trust me, bro, she's in my school. I was like, and she said she was paid staff.
Wow.
Mad.
You see
mad.
But
see what happens.
But you've got to be on the ball. You've got to be on it. Like if you know somebody's coming to you and okay, they might look a bit younger or whatever, you do your due diligence and make sure that you're comfortable.
But the one thing I will say about being a young man, you do go off of persona and how someone looks. So if someone looks older and they're wearing a staff thing, bruv, you can't be paid staff unless you're a certain age. So that's just them manipulating you in a way.
Yeah.
So exactly, I think it goes both ways. So I think some men get into a position where they're manipulated. And I think...
Because girls, they know what they're doing. Some of them, they deliberately, intentionally will go for that older guy and they'll do what's necessary. They'll make themselves look older. They'll say all the lies, what they need to say in order to convince the guy that they're old enough.